Yep, I just thought I'd go ahead and do this commentary. I was thinking I'd make a commentary on the other wars, but I'm probably gonna stop at round 2 of this Disney versus Marvel villains part 2, or Disney versus Marvel. I think GA villain. I think you forgot the title villains next to it, but oh well. So let's start off with Disney versus Marvel villains part 2, round 1. So we start off with the prologue. We see the future.
All the pieces are now in place. Isn't it time for you to go? I was just about to. Are you certain you know what to do?
We're starting with the Archmage, having to do the whole time travel thing, huh? I see. The whole Archmage going time to travel back in time to observe his fight with Loki, of course. I see.
I should. I watched you do it.
Okay. 5 months ago. Oh, that's a cool epic Mickey music on, just in case. So we start back to the part 1 of Disney versus Marvel villains, where Loki fought against the Archmage. Yeah, we all know how this went. Yeah, the Archmage just sees everything, and then he goes into the present. So this takes place after part 1. I always knew Hades was being unconscious. Because he was knocked down by Doctor Doom. He asked him to revive his past self. What have I got to lose? Whatever. Brings back the Archmage, the present Archmage, that is. Actually, the interesting one, I always thought we'd call him the future Archmage and the present Archmage. But actually, the future one will be called the Alpha Archmage, and the one that has just been revived will be Beta Archmage. Alpha and Beta, huh? Hope you guys will get all this, or memorize which one I'm talking about. The Alpha Archmage is the future one, and the Beta one is the present Archmage. I thought we could have had the editing where he said, "Who are you?" and then the Alpha one would say, "Patience." Last year, does that mean the whole series of part 1 of Disney vs. Marvel took place in one whole year or something? Well, that's a long time. Goes back to the Forbidden Mountains and meets up with the Maleficent and tells her about the gates of hell. So the Alpha Archmage was the one who told Maleficent about the whole gates of hell and have her planned on this to free Chortabog. I see. It's interesting, I'm not gonna lie. Also, I thought we could have had the Archmage talking with the Beta Archmage, with the whole, there, feel better now? And the Beta one was like, "Are you me?" And then the Alpha one will be all, "I am of who you will become." All that, and then all that jazz, and then we cut to the Maleficent one. I'm just saying it because it would have been much interesting. Okay, now for the first fight. Sandman versus Clang. On behalf of Medusa's orders, Hammerhead, thank goodness he's sticking with the Spectacular Spider-Man one, sends Sandman to attack to, maybe go to a different location or something, to steal a rare artifact from Clang at the camp of the Slippery Serpent. I have not seen or never heard of Clang before. Actually, the information I got from Histopa5341 when he was commentating this round, he's either a villain from DuckTales or Tailspin. If anyone who has seen most of the Disney Afternoon cartoons more than me, well, I mostly watch Gargoyles. Which show is he from? DuckTales or Tailspin? What I get is that dude is like a snake. Anthropomorphic snake. and with this metal jaw. I never heard of this guy before, but after hearing from History Buff, he does sound like a very disturbing villain, and he can't remember much, but he does remember is that when he does like the gong, like the giant drum thing, he's like boom, like that, or something like that. Whatever his defeat was, he puts himself inside of his own robe. He has arms, yes, but also he slithers like an actual snake. No arms and no legs. I thought he came out as a snake without arms and legs. That does sound disturbing! Jesus Christ! So what, does this guy have a thing with bells and sounds and stuff? Oh, is he killing Sandman? I wish we had more of this guy. Unless he comes back to life, because he is made of sand. Clang wins. Next fight, Hades versus Hela. Yeah, after the whole... Yeah, he's still upset about the loss of Maleficent and the loss of the plans. You know, after all that stuff. He gets in a visit from Hela, Loki's daughter. Even though in the Marvel Cinematic Universe one, Thor Ragnarok, Hela was Odin's daughter. I have no idea why they changed that. She's Loki's daughter. And she's gonna fight Hades to take over the underworld since she is the goddess of death. Well, even though she does rule Hell, which is like one, you know, Helheim, that's like Norse mythology equivalent of Hell. So I guess that's not enough. She wants to rule the underworld also. And of course, just like in every war, Hades is going to be overthrown. I'm still certain there might be a rule about that. Zombies? Dude, you're a god of the underworld. Why are you afraid of zombies? You putty pat. Okay, next fight. Black Widow versus the Quarrymen. Wait, Black Widow? The Avenger character? Although I did saw her, I think it was her with the Hydra. Does that mean my Keiko has been a lie? I thought she was always a hero. So the Quarryman shows up at Dr. Severius' lab because he has affiliation with gargoyles and they had to trash his lab while also trying to get him. Then when he meets up with Madame Medusa, you know, tells her about it, and they send this Black Widow. That's the Black Widow? Wait a minute. Yeah, I still do not like the Quarrymen. They just represent people I just don't like. Or just agree with. I thought you were talking about the Black Widow character, you know, Natasha from the Avengers. But no, just some robot thing that's called Black Widow. I have no knowledge of the Black Widow. This thing, I mean. Oh, and the Quarryman wins. Next fight is the Kree versus the Skrull versus the Heed. Yeah, the Skrull and the Heed are going head to head on each other in the war to take over the Empire since Zurg has disappeared. Huh. Fighting over who gets to rule the Space Empire, huh? But I thought Planet Z was destroyed by Galactus. if I'm not mistaken. I've never watched the cartoons of the Kree. I did play Marvel's Ultimate Alliance. I think the Skrulls are the anti-heroes while the Kree are the villains, or is that the other way around? I never seen the Heat. I have not seen much of the Buzz Lightyear cartoon. I don't think I recognize them. But I also do want to point out, are we going to get Mighty Duck villains? I mean, History Buff did point out, we only seen the Mighty Ducks villains in Disney Villains War 1. But that's all we got. And I thought, what? Does not many people like them? Or was it not my Disney? Or what is it? But that was like back in the day. But they did get to appear in Disney vs. Non-Disney Villains Part 3. Yeah, well, all the way around to Part 3. And Disney Villains War 3. Huh. And also, History Buff did kind of point out something, because there are some things Disney bought, but he did admit something. That he said he doesn't think Star Wars should be considered. He doesn't think Star Wars. Let me try this again. He doesn't think Star Wars could count as Disney. Well, yeah, Disney did purchase the rights to it, but when it was first around, it was not Disney company. I can see that. Actually, I'm kind of in between with the Star Wars one. So here's my personal opinion. I do not consider 20th Century Fox as Disney. You people heard right. I do not consider 20th Century Fox as Disney. I don't consider the Fox properties of the movies as Disney. I do not consider their TV shows as Disney. I do not consider anything Fox related to be Disney. Yes, I know Disney purchased the rights to 20th Century Fox, but when it was around, it was not a Disney company. They just don't have like their logos or their signatures or anything like that. They just don't have anything Disney related on any of them. You wouldn't see Disney logos on like Anastasia or Ferngully or The Simpsons or Family Guy or Rio or any of that stuff. They just don't have the Disney logos. And neither does the Planet of the Apes films. I'm just saying, but I just hope you guys can understand why I do not consider 20th Century Fox as Disney. Since it has been around, it was not Disney company. But at the same time, in my opinion, this one I would ultimately kind of agree with History Buff here. I too also would consider Studio Ghibli as Disney. Yeah, I know Disney never purchased the rights to it either, but they did distributed them and put all of the releases outside of Japan. And all the Studio Ghibli films do have the Disney logos on them. Whereas the 20th Century Fox properties do not have the Disney logos on them. Even though it's not anymore since G-Kids is doing it, but yeah, I hope you guys can understand why I consider Studio Ghibli as Disney, while I do not consider 20th Century Fox as Disney. But there is the Disney December of Studio Ghibli films, so I should leave the link down below to almost all of them in one video. So, get back to this one. Yeah, I don't think I know about the Heed. It's been a long time since I've seen the Buzz Lightyear cartoons. And boy, do I talk long, do I? Okay, the Kree wins. The next fight. Avalanche versus Maleficent's Remnants. Avalanche, who has been gone for like... How long was it? A 3-month coma in the Evil Queen's dungeon. It's a vision of Maleficent. That's cool. It's like he's hypnotizing. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop right here. I don't want to make this too long, so see you guys in the next part. Sorry.